So, would you like some fruit or banana or anything like that?
I'm fine right now, actually. I like letting my digestion kind of,
Had you had any food yesterday?
yeah. I think I did. Pretty sure.
No, well,
Just forget about it.
well, when it comes to recording things, the one thing that I really, really feel very, very strongly about right now, and it really has been bothering me, and I just have very hard time getting motivated. I'll start doing something, and then I'll see something else, and then I'll see something else, and one thing leads to another and another, and I never, that's why I think, a bare cabin would be the best thing. But one of the things that I feel really, really strongly about is that I would love to talk about my parents. Because I think it would be a good thing for you guys to know about, and grandchildren and so forth. And I have found I have so radically changed my image of them and of their lives, and have so belatedly come to understand and appreciate a bit more of their lives.
Is this because of the letters that Abanana gave you? Or?
There were several things. Way back after my father died, I remember seeing, or maybe it was after my mother died, that she had a huge collection of postcards that Daddy had sent from Europe, because he used to have to go back and forth a lot. And
to Turkey or other places?
Well, to France and to Spain and to Turkey. And I had always thought that my parents were totally mismatched. I just couldn't understand how they ever got together, how they ever... It's not that they ever fought. I never heard them fight or argue or anything like that. But Daddy was this quiet, gentle person, and Mother was this dynamo. And it just seemed, and their interests didn't seem to be the same at all. And I just really never understood anything about it. And now I'm beginning to understand a whole lot more. And of course, it's too bad I don't believe in heaven, because I would so love to to be able to go and apologize for my unfeeling, really stupid behavior towards them for all my life, practically.
What were their different interests?
Well, the thing is, they both came from relatively humble backgrounds, not peasants or anything like that. My mother's father, my grandfather, I think ran a boat service from maybe Providence to New York or something like that. In any event, I mean, he was a businessman, but not a rich businessman. And she grew up in Newport, Rhode Island, having nothing to do with, of course, the super rich, the Vanderbilts and all that kind of thing, but knowing about that kind of life. Not that I think she,
aspired for it.
No, but knew about fine things, and I think what they were It was like being called lace curtain Irish or something.
Mhm.
It was an Irish, a very strong Irish Catholic
Mhm.
family.
Sullivan, right?
Hmm?
Sullivan, the last name?
O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan, oh yeah. Because if you have an O or a Bon or anything like that, that's much more
Prestigious?
Oh, yes.
Oh, really? What
Oh,
is
yeah.
the O
Well, way
indicate?
back, well, it's like being sort of minor aristocracy or something like that. It's like a Bon or
I
Duke
see.
or, you know, that
Okay.
kind of thing. And so they were very respectable. I just, in reading through, where did I find it? Reading through a letter of Mother's brother Frank, who was a Jesuit priest who died taking care of people um, at the Spanish influenza. I can't remember the English language. It was like a plague that swept through this country after World War One. And Uncle Frank was in some place in New York. He was it's connected with some monastery in New York. Anyway, I came across a letter of his to my mother, in which he was talking about her being the oldest survivor of the children and hoping to keep the family, the kids together, and how they sometimes in the evening would have wonderful musical gatherings in their living room, or they would go up on the balcony in their house and put on dramas and stuff. I mean, so they were...
In Newport.
Yeah, but in their house in
Right.
Newport,
Yeah.
Not in a palazzo,
Yeah.
but nice middle-class house, I guess. And I guess they were pretty respectable members of the community.
How many brothers, sisters did she have?
Nana had, there were 8 children, and one of them died. Catherine, Nana was the oldest, and Catherine died when she was about 15. Aunt Irene was the youngest, and I think her sister, I think she might have been one of twins, and one of the twins died, and Aunt Irene lived on. And then there was Uncle Will and Uncle Ed, and I don't think you guys ever met them. Uncle Will, Uncle Ed, Catherine, Frank, Isabel, I don't know. Well, anyway.
You're a few short of 8.
Well, I think only 6 lived, survived, and
What did the one die of?
well, in those days, I don't know.
Yeah.
Catherine, there's one named Catherine who died when she was 15. I don't know what she died of. And, well, whatever. But I know that 2 of them died. So Mother grew up in a household of 6 kids, and she was the eldest. But it was obviously a household where music and culture and reading and, I mean, that the children were putting on plays and stuff like that, all for fun. It meant that, it was but Mother never really talked much about any of that. And her mother died, I think, the first few months when she went off to Smith College. Now, for a woman to go to college in 1912 was a pretty unusual thing. And anyway, so she went off in 1912. She was in the class of 1916, so she started in 1912. And sometime that fall, before Christmas, her mother died. And so she went back and took care of her father and the 5 younger siblings. I don't know how long she was out of college, but then she did, of course, go back to Smith and finish, and she graduated with her class in 1916. Her father must have died fairly shortly after she got out of college, because he had died, well, I don't know how shortly after, but in any event,